Frank Lampard has come out and reissued lots of statements concerning Chelsea ready for Real Madrid tomorrow at the Stamford Bridge. Remember, the first leg ended 2-0. And what has really gone ahead to shock me is Todd Boehly at halftime going to the dressing room to address the players of the team. That is ridiculous, according to me. And it shows you how Chelsea fans should gang up and really get Todd Boehly out of their team. Because if he continues doing that, I don't find it sane. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where you're watching us from, I go by the names of Rock and David. A big one is going to be played between Chelsea and Real Madrid. Madrid is already in London, and even Carlo Ancelotti has gone ahead to react to Todd Boehly storming the dressing room of Chelsea at halftime every time they are playing. So let's have a little snippet of this story and see what your thoughts are about these stories that I'm going to collect and bring to you here onto the Rokani Media Football. Now, Frank Lampard today conducted a press conference ahead of the game of Real Madrid that is tomorrow, that is on Tuesday. He had the following to say: that Chelsea had opportunities last week to make the scoreline better, but we could have done a lot of things better. We have to improve tomorrow to have a better chance to turn the game around. I know the players have the capacity to do this job, I know the players have the capacity to give this a good go. What will be tomorrow night. We'll give everything. We want to go through. Every game you play for Chelsea is an opportunity to win games, particularly with our form this season. So we look at Frank Lampard. He's wanting Chelsea to knock out Real Madrid, but Chelsea rested almost every player last week on the weekend as they lost to Brighton 2-1. You know, looking like Frank Lampard's aim was to go all out and play and prepare for the game of Real Madrid. And I think if Chelsea can take their chances, they can knock out Real Madrid, because opportunities were there for them to knock out Real Madrid. When you look at Chelsea, the back four that really played is not going to feature in the game they're going to play against Real Madrid. Chalobah won't start. I think Fofana might come in through Buddy Shield, and Chilwell are out. Zakaria, alright, won't play. Enzo Fernandez will play. Pulisic, Gallagher, Modric won't play. Sterling. So that means he started only 3 players that we expect to start for Chelsea in that beautiful game of football that's going to be played tomorrow at Stamford Bridge, meaning that Fofana will start, Sterling will start, and Enzo Fernandez. So he'll be welcoming back players like Thiago Silva, N'Golo Kante, Kovacic, Kai Havertz, João Felix. You know, all those players were onto the bench, and Reece James came in and played just some minutes. João Felix and Mateo Kovacic also came in and played some minutes. Mason Mount, I think in this game of football, if Lampard wants to get a result, he needs Mason Mount, because I think he is a better scorer of the ball than any of those players on the field of play. He can score better than Kovacic, than Sterling. He's a better goal scorer than João Felix. So I think he should find means of really getting him in a much more better position of really to score the goal. And I think if he really thinks Mason Mount can really save Chelsea from all this, he needs to get him onto the starting 11 of Chelsea, because Mount is just a prolific goal scorer coming from deep areas of the midfield. So I expect him to go ahead and really do the needful on the day. Then when it comes to Real Madrid, this is what he had to say about Real Madrid. On the outside, we have a great coach. He needs to take full credit. Their run to the final was amazing. It's very visible. They have a core group of players playing a very, very high level. Modric, Kroos, Benzema, and others are really one of the top-notch players that Real Madrid are really having. And I believe this is the best, the best of the wins that Madrid are really getting. Modric, Kroos, and Benzema You know, the way they connect, I think has just forgotten one player, Vinicius Jr. Because Vinicius Jr. to me, he's one of those players that you wouldn't like to miss out in your team. He's a very talented player that gives you vibes of really expecting a goal to come in through in the next available second possible, because he makes football look easy, you know. Even in the first leg they played away in Real Madrid, that is the Santiago Bernabeu, you saw how he was responsible for the first goal that Benzema scores. Even I think he had some contribution in the second one. So it has to be a deliberate effort for Chelsea to stop Vinicius Jr. I believe Enzo Fernandez, N'Golo Kante and Kovacic can suffocate Toni Kroos and Modric and Luka Modric. But how are they going to suffocate Vinicius Jr.? You know, Vinicius Jr. has had to suffocate because he operates on the left wide side of the pitch and he's always on the touchline. He doesn't really close into the half spaces like to close or to really narrow down the pitch. He's always on the touchline. So a player like that is hard to beat because you cannot stop him to control the ball. The moment Vinicius Jr. controls that ball, unless otherwise you foul him, I rarely see him being caught against. That's it. And Chelsea doesn't have that right back that has the pace to stop him. And with them playing a 3-4-3, you know, Fofana is fast, but looks like sometimes he came in a little bit late, and that's why he fouled him and really got a yellow card. But thankfully, Fofana played the entire 90 minutes and he never got sent off like Ben Chilwell. So, to my understanding, I think Vinicius Jr. is the player to stop if at all you want to stop Real Madrid, because the midfield of Chelsea is really strong. N'Golo Kante, Kovacic, and Enzo Fernandez, they can stop Chelsea. They can stop that midfield of Real Madrid. But that left attacking midfielder known as Vinicius Jr. is really a problem that is hard. You know, the guy is electric. He's electric and he's always a direct player, proactive player. Whenever he gets the ball, he doesn't look behind. He doesn't even put out negative passes, you know. He just utilized that pace like Thierry Henry did. You know, Thierry Henry, because he had a lot of pace, he was always onto the touchline, and then he just plays that long ball and then he runs from the outside the pitch, because the ball will always be onside and not going outside. He'll go past you because he's a very good runner, and I think that's what Vinicius Jr. really does, and he's a good dribbler of the ball and he easily skips past players. That is a player known as Vinicius Jr. Then Frank Lampard on Todd Boehly. I never knew this, but he told us that on Todd Boehly entering the dressing room, he said, "I'm confident with that. There was criticism of our old owner not coming to games and being around. That wasn't always true, but when an owner is very interested, it's their prerogative to have the input and want it shows passion." That's what Frank Lampard says. And even the manager of Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti, had the following to say about this. He said, "I think it's a good gesture. If the president came after each game, I would feel comfortable. He has the right to know what the reasons for the technical decisions are. I think this can motivate the players. At Chelsea, they are not going through a good time, and it can inspire the players to play better." For me, I think it's a big no. It's a big no. It's a big no. If I told you a competent owner, there is no need for you to go ahead and really bombard the dressing room. I know if I told the game has just ended, 90 minutes, and you bombard it, it's okay. But at halftime, it's really uncalled for. Why? It's all about the manager. It's all about the manager. And I understand Todd Boehly is a crazy guy. And I think no said manager would like to work under Todd Boehly, because you are not going to set your terms and conditions, because you're obsessed to get the job. I would like to see Todd Boehly getting managers like Luis Enrique, Nagelsmann, who will come in through and will tell you, "I want ABCD, I don't want ABCD," you know, because he needs his ego to be tamed down. If it doesn't get tamed down, Chelsea is going into next season and they're going to suffer because he's this kind of person who buys a player expensively and wants the coach to play him. That's why even Carlo Ancelotti is trying to defend Todd Boehly's actions, because I know even Florentino Perez does it. You know, Florentino Perez has a team that he wants to play. It's all about you to come in through and obviously put those players in the field of play, because he even picks the lineup, Florentino Perez. And I think even I won't be shocked if at all Todd Boehly does it, because Todd Boehly has players he wants to play. He has players he wants to play. You know, if you don't play them and you're losing, then you won't give him any reason for him not sacking you. I think the reason as to why Graham Potter was sacked was all about Mykhailo Mudryk. He bought Mykhailo Mudryk expensively and he was not playing him. So I think that resulted into the sack. So guys, your thoughts on to Frank Lampard wanting to knock out Real Madrid are welcome in the comment section below. What do you think about Todd Boehly storming the dressing room of Chelsea at halftime? You know, do you think it's sane or it's insane? Because if Todd Boehly was like a person like Peter Cech, who was a technical director and is now the president of Chelsea, I understand. Louis Costa has played the game of football, has gone ahead and really being coached. He knows what the game of football is all about. If he's at Benfica and Benfica is losing at halftime or winning at halftime, if he can come in through, I understand. But you won't really tell me that Todd Boehly, who has no knowledge about football, comes in through and start making what we call advising these players. You cannot come here and convince me that Todd Boehly comes in through in the dressing room of Chelsea at halftime and his mom. He has to say something because he's arrogant. He thinks that his money will work miracles. When money is not guided very well in the game of football under beautiful structures, you won't get a positive result. So guys, I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I'm out.